Meanwhile, we're still waiting after about an hour and a half for the pipes to be unloaded and brought down here. Suntory was very specific to the shop when she ordered them, telling them it has to be a small lorry that delivers them for access. And they've sent a big lorry, so she's basically said to them, it's not my problem, you've got to get the pipes down here, sort it. And if they choose to do it manually, rolling them down the hill, she says that's not her job, that will be just down to the people that are driving the truck. I think they're waiting for a small truck to turn up and they're going to basically transfer the load over, maybe not all at once, but they'll transfer it over and then the truck will reverse down here and we'll get them in place eventually like that. I think we're in a position now where we're waiting on the pipes because it seems to me like this digger's finished here, but I'm thinking that maybe he should be directed to start on the other lake or reservoir now whilst he's waiting. Well, it's been a long wait, but finally a small truck of a more suitable size has turned up, and now we've got to get them to transfer the pipes across. Well, I'm a bit out of breath. I've just lugged this remaining bit of mortar back to the house because, seeing as it's mixed, I'm going to take advantage, because ever since the house has been built, I've been meaning to finish off around the top edge of the shower room, which was just left very rough and is somewhat visible, and also at the back of the house where the shuttering is. Well, I'll show you in a minute. And I think I might have enough to do the job, so I'm going to quickly do that. As regards the digging, the JCB is right over there now, near the pig farm, where they've requested that one of their water storage reservoirs be cleared. So he's doing that whilst the mortar on the pipe work is drying off sufficiently, and then he's going to cover the pipes up with soil. And then another day, Centre wants to put a concrete plinth at the front and back of the reservoir where the pipes go, so the water can flow into the pipes up the concrete, and try and minimise the amount of water that actually penetrates the soil dam. Good idea, but I'm not quite sure how it's going to work, because she won't be able to actually concrete right down below the water line, which is really what's needed, I think. But anyway, I suppose every little helps. Right, so I'm going to crack on with this now. Ooh. It looks very wet, but actually it's basically because all the water's found its way to the surface whilst I've brought it here. Okay, so in anticipation of that load being available, I did go up here and clear it of dust along part of it and give it a good soaking with water. You can see how rough it is, so it'd be nice just to give it a flat or a slight curve at the top here, just to finish it off and make it look pretty. Yeah, right, let's crack on. Good morning, everyone. Well, things didn't quite work out yesterday with the dam project, and consequently the digger has stayed here overnight. There it is in the distance there. And of course the big truck to load it onto. They ran out of daylight basically because of the delay in getting the pipes. Interestingly, the digger was hired from the same company that supplied the pipes in town, the construction wholesalers, so they have no choice but to allow the people working the digger to carry on this morning for a couple of hours. That's what we lost really in time, because they didn't take note of Centre's instructions regarding using a small lorry. So that's okay, I guess, but another downside was that the boss man for the digger basically said the price was too cheap because we'd taken the biggest digger. for the job. This area of water, which is far more substantial than the one behind Sunteray's land, was cleared as well. You can see all the weeds piled up along the edge there. He basically just got the weeds out. He didn't dig it deeper. But straight away, of course, we've got people on there fishing with nets and what looks like a giant keep net, and there's also a little boat. There you go. These two stretches of water are public. They don't belong to Sunteray and the neighbour, they're actually just a public sort of irrigation system. So consequently you have to put up with people coming along and fishing from them, although you don't have to put up with them being on your land. Normally they all fish from the bank over there that you can see along that roadway, which is public property. Yeah, I don't know if you can notice, but the level of the water in that far stretch is far higher than here. That's how it should be, and that's why Sunteray wanted to do this new dam and to get it cleared, because she's losing out on, where you can see by the height of the pipes in a moment, she's losing out on a couple of feet, 60, 70 centimetres worth of water throughout this reservoir, because it was draining through the hole that was there. That equates to a considerable amount of stored water that could be used on the fields here. Yeah. Well, at least the work around the pipes will have gone off. The rendering, what's it called? It's not called render, is it? Anyway, the joints, the pipe joints will all have gone off. So when the soil's put back, we won't have any displacement of that. Hopefully that will work all right. This job is starting to add up in cost, unfortunately. It's costing nigh on 35,000 or 38,000. But it will actually be an equivalent job, I think, to the dam that we were looking at on another film, which was bypassed by the collapse of the bank. What happened yesterday was the digger did a little bit of prep work in Sunteray's field, which is directly behind this embankment. It was digging out some harder soil, because that field is not just sand, it's got some decent harder soil in it, and so he's going to put the harder soil on that side there, across the top and along the edges, as it were, and also harder soil at this end, and then the middle part will be filled with that muck there, which is sand and a little bit damp at the moment, because he's been digging it out of the waterlogged trench. can see there he's created a couple of little pools. So the work here will effectively have excavated this further area here and given some storage facility, even though the next dam along is broken the same as ours was, I think. Right, so yes, it's quite early in the morning, and I just wanted to give a catch up before the men start. They probably won't come till 9. They might have to come a bit earlier because they might have another job to go to, and the boss man will be wanting them to start early and crack on. Part of the renovation work for the cow shed was a new feeding trough. The old one had basically collapsed and rotted, and so what Sunterra's decided to do is to just make a very simple platform and use these rubber tyre planters that she got several years ago, which she was going to use for actual planting plants in at her old house. That never really came off. She was too busy, too often away, so having a garden of any sort doesn't really work. So she's upcycling them, and they're now giant feeding troughs for the cows. So that's good. A more simple construction as well, so when it needs repairing it's going to be easier.